What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Blue Chip Prospect. Today, we are talking about my boy, Michael Misa. I've watched a ton of him this season, and I waited and waited to do my scouting report on him because I really wanted to see the full progression over the entire season, and boy, was it worth it. Anyways, take the time to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and let's dive in. So first thing first, Michael Misa is a left shot center who 100% project as a center in my opinion. He stands at 6'1" and weighs in at 185 pounds, so not big but definitely adequate for the NHL. In terms of ranking, he's basically in everyone tops 3 except for Chris Peters, FC Hockey, and Kennedy. It's hard to imagine a world where 3 team passes on him, but stranger things have happened, like 4 teams passing on Demidov, for example. But when it comes to production, Misa is over 2 points per game at 126 points, including a ridiculous 59 goals in 62 games. This is better than Greentree and Protas in their Draft Plus 1 year playing together on the same team, and better than Lardis in his Draft Plus 2, who's as big a cheater for offense as I've seen in recent years. So I'd say he's doing pretty spectacular. This level of production in a year is on par with players like Mitch Marner and Jason Spezza, so he's on a pretty decent trajectory. So when it comes to Misa's game, there's just really not much that he can do at a high level or even a very high level. He's a really strong handler, creating fakes at full speed and moving through checks. He's a strong skater with great acceleration off the blocks and a ridiculous top speed, which he uses in transition, catching pucks at full speed, splitting the defense down the middle of the ice or beating defenders out wide with ease. He has ridiculously good details for a guy of his age and scoring profile. He does everything you'd want for a center to do, from pressuring the carrier on the back check, forcing plays to the outside by covering the middle of the ice, supporting his defense along the wall, retrieving every loose puck he can find in his own end, escaping pressure and exploding up to start the breakout in just a few strides. He might be average in size for the NHL, but he's extremely competitive. Even for a guy with unbelievable skills and smarts, his competitiveness is something that really stands out every time he jumps on the ice. Not necessarily in the way you'd think though, like not just in a punishing attacker, hitting players hard on a forecheck or something like that, even though he does plenty of that, more in the way that he will compete hard in all 3 zones, play at top speed to create any kinds of advantages, cut through hands to gain the middle, engage physically on puck battles even before reaching the puck to gain body positioning, battle around the net, accept the cross check to make plays, cut through sticks of defenders on a forecheck to separate them from the puck to gain it back. He plays in traffic, through checks to create high danger chances for himself and his line mate. He's an impressive player, and while I love the skills and impressive plays like everyone else, competitiveness is one of the first things that I look for in a player, and he's got tons of it to go with everything else. I want to see players who want to get better and try things outside of their box. I want to see players that want to win in every way, not just accepting the pain of hockey and engaging in post-whistle stuff, but I want to see it in their demeanor on the ice also. And if you've watched Misa play, you can see that he has that general on-ice mentality, just pointing plays and coverage to line mates. He's basically directing the play out there, and he has that little special something that might make him a future leader in the NHL. His offensive game is just as impressive as his detailed and competitive game. He's an overall very dynamic player on and off the puck, and on the puck he can create from the wall, slipping pucks to the inside with precise passes, make passes to the bumper from behind the goal line, and always focus on feeding players in dangerous spot. He's always looking to attract players on himself before slipping the puck to an open player, making it easier for line mates to shoot and redistribute the puck, and not only attract pressure on himself, but he also attracts contacts on himself and basically invites it, as he's one of the best puck distributor through contacts that I've seen this season, which may sound like it's not that big of a deal, but in the NHL, unless you're on the power play or counter-attacking on the rush, you always have a player on your back, and having the ability to make high-end plays and elite plays through stick checks and contacts and bumps is incredibly important. But in the end, Misa can create offense any way you want it. He can make plays at full flight, pushing the defense back, slipping passes to the trailer. He can catch the puck from anywhere at any speed, beat defenders wide and cut to the inside for a chance at the net. He can slow it down and basically feed his line mate from anywhere and find ways to drop it on their stick. And off the puck, he's incredibly precise and aware of spacing around himself. He's never looking to overcrowd his line mates by being too close to him, but always presents himself as a target for a pass. He has that ability to recognize the smallest gaps in the defense and dive in it with the right timing for A+ chances from the inside. He's constantly in movement, creating openings and slipping through coverages, being forgotten just to dart in the bumper for a one-timer out of nowhere. Just very elusive as a player. Misa also got a solid shot from one-timer to catch and release. It's quick, it's accurate, with an ability to score from mid-range and very good scoring instinct around the net. But his shot isn't overpowering by any mean. It's just sneaky good. He can change the angle last second, catch goalie off guard. He's a little bit more of a pass-first guy, but if you give him space, he can absolutely finish, especially on the power play, being fed one-timers nonstop by Chernyshov. His hands are also silky smooth, and he's just as dangerous in tight spaces with the puck on his stick as he is with open ice in front of him. He's got this deceptive way of handling the puck, constantly shifting angles and keeping defenders guessing with his body movement and eyes, like looking left, passing right, that kind of stuff. The combination of his feet, his hands, his vision, and his shot make him a very dangerous rush attacker. But his game is not just about raw speed. His hockey IQ is also off the chart. He sees the game at an elite level, reading plays before they develop and setting up teammates with pinpoint accuracy. He's got that rare ability to slow the game down when needed, drawing defenders in before slicing them apart with a perfect pass. Whether it's a crisp tape-to-tape feed or a sneaky little dish through the traffic, his playmaking is just high-end in my opinion. He's also not just a flashy passer either. He makes smart, calculated plays that directly lead to scoring chances. He's always 100% focused on results. He's got tons of ideas and patterns in his head with clear ability to execute on his vision. I wouldn't say he's the most creative playmaker in a draft, but he's so crafty and resourceful that whenever you think you have him pinned down, you probably don't. He's developing into a player similar to Celebrini from last year's draft. Immaculate details in his game followed by high-end and diversified offense and top of the class to compete. The more I spend time watching Misa and the more I think he has a case for first overall. I'm not saying they have the same potential here. I think Celebrini has more pure offensive talent and hockey sense compared to Misa. But if you miss your chance on a complete detail-oriented game first-line center last year, I would say that now it's your time. Could be nice to see Misa reunited with Chernyshov in San Jose, but I'm pretty sure that San Jose would rather have Schaefer over Misa. But man, does Chernyshov and Misa form a dynamic duo in Saginaw. Chernyshov found this like next level passing ability in his game, and he can find Misa everywhere on the ice for one-timers and backdoor tap-ins. It's just wild how good they look together. Now, as good as Misa is, he's not perfect. There are definitely areas of his game that need work or areas of improvement. First and foremost, strength. He's got the skills, but to thrive at the NHL level, he's going to need to bulk up. And right now, stronger defenders in the OHL, they can knock him off the puck. Even if it's not necessarily easy to do so, it still happens. And he doesn't always win battles along the board, even if he does try. If he adds some muscle, he'll be able to hold his own in the AHL and become even tougher to contain and even more disruptive, resulting in more chaos and more steals from the forecheck and all that good stuff. His defensive game is also another area that needs some work. He's got an active stick and good instinct defensively, but he can sometimes get caught puck watching instead of staying engaged in his assignment. He needs to improve his positioning and play with more consistency in his own zone. He's not by any mean a liability defensively, but he could definitely take another step to round out his game and become a true two-way center. Another thing that sometimes stands out is his offensive consistency night after night. There are nights where he completely take over the game and basically look unstoppable, but there are also stretches where he fades into the background a little bit, which is bound to happen at his age, but still collects some points. But the best player in the NHL, they find a way to impact every single game, even when the offense isn't coming easily. If you can develop a bit more of an assertive game in, game out presence, it'll be that much more dangerous, especially when the offense isn't working, and Misa's got plenty of B game to fall back on. So what's the ceiling for Misa? I think he's got top 6 center written all over him, with the potential to be a legitimate first-line center. His elite speed, vision, and playmaking give him the tools to be a dynamic offensive driver at the NHL level. The question is more, can he round out the rest of his game? And if he does, he could be a true difference maker for the team that take him. And as for comparables, I don't really have a great one, but he's got some Braden Point in his game. The speed, the playmaking, and the finishing ability combined with the ability to thrive in transition. But take it with a grain of salt, because minutes before deciding on Point as a comp, I was thinking of Nico Hischier and Sebastian Aho. And before that, I was thinking of Matthew Barzal with less skating but more finishing. And before that, I was thinking of Mitch Marner. So I'm a little bit all over the place with my comp, so take it with a grain of salt. But anyways, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.